to his whole left side?
No, I didn't hear.
Yeah, he's all right.
Oh, nice.
Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Just how did Mookie look getting back out there, and how have you seen him just kind of navigate this camp so far and his kind of build up?
I think we've done a nice job with Mookie. It was good to see him out there. He'll play tomorrow, so he'll take 3 at-bats tomorrow. I think that just building him up, thoughtfully, I think is important for him. His weight's where it needs to be, strength, all that stuff, and so I feel like we can build him up, get him ready into the season. But yeah, just good to get him out there, and I feel like he'll be ready to go tomorrow.
How much have you seen like those mentality changes that like he took on last year of kind of leaving the results to the side and like focusing on little things? Like, have you seen that kind of carry over in some ways, just in the way he's gone about like the winter and the spring?
I have. I think that, I think that there's some experience part of it. There's some growth part of it in the sense that he's done everything he can do individually. And now he's just trying to win championships. And I think that last year, the way he struggled last year offensively, but to kind of put that aside to help us win was most important. And to see it kind of play out as such, I think that validated his thoughts. And so I do like his outlook on things as far as, just play to win and be on the field. And I think the performance will be better for it.
Dave, Mookie talked about how much he learned from that change of mentality. What did you learn about him?
I learned what I learned. Well, I guess he's never struggled like that. So I think that it's one of those things that you either spiral and try to find it individually, or you keep grinding and working, but put the team success really at the forefront. And I think I learned that he could find a way to compartmentalize essentially a lost offensive season, in his words, and then kind of just redirect. And that's not easy. I mean, that's the first time I think any of us have seen him struggle like that. So that was something that I think we all learned.
Dave, it felt like there were times last year when Mookie just seemed to struggle with figuring out what exactly was wrong and how to put it into words. Do you think that going through this, will help him find a way back going forward?
Yeah, well, I think that we've he's pushed or put last year behind him in the sense of the individual struggles, and I think that getting off to a good start this year as far as having a good off season, a healthy off season. Hopefully we can keep the weight up and doesn't get sick like he did last spring, and go from there. I would expect us not to struggle like he did last year. I don't think age is a factor. I think that he's in a really good spot right now. So I think also trying to get a handle on shortstop was something that was really important to him and to us. But I feel he's got a really good grasp on shortstop now, so he can just kind of do that and continue to, be the offensive threat that he's been his entire career.
Kyle Hurt had a really good outing today. Where do you see him fitting into the sort of crowded back end of the bullpen?
He's in the mix in the crowded back end of the bullpen. He's a guy that gets left and right out. I see a real confidence with Kyle now, and that I hadn't seen for up until this spring. And he's throwing the baseball really well. And so you get a guy with that velocity, the changeup. There's a breaking ball in there. So he's right on the cusp, and he's certainly in the conversation.
Bobby Miller said he's being viewed as a reliever now. Is that what's your expectations for him moving forward now?
Yeah, I think with Bobby, we just got to get him back to pitching. It's still a really good arm. There was some shoulder soreness, so he was kind of slowly ramping up. And I think it's just more of a short burst situation, and getting him to, find some success again, get some hitters out. And we know he can be a starter, but I think right now it's just kind of getting him back on the mound, getting him competing again, and then see where that goes.
Saw you watching Rocky's bullpen pretty closely this morning. Kind of what you guys see out of him, and kind of how is he looking coming off the outing the other day?
Well, I thought the bullpen, the intent was to command the fastball, and I thought I saw a lot of good throws. I think it's just kind of, even today with Knack, the fastball was fine, but it was just elevated, and good major league hitters are going to hit it, and so I really wanted to watch Roki as far as what he thought, what I saw, what the pitching guys saw as far as the command of the fastball, and making sure that we're aligned, that's the standard. And so that's why I just wanted to keep a watchful eye on him, and I think we got a lot out of today. And then with that, the split, the breaking ball, they were all good today too.
Dave, does it seem to you that Roki, when he's been throwing his bullpens, has been like a little more vocal this year compared with last spring, like more of a grunt on every pitch?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I think it's max effort, and I think that I actually like when guys train like that, and so there might be something to it, but I think in general he's more vocal, and I know that's not being vocal, but in general he's more vocal. But yeah, when he pitches, whether it's a pen or in a game, it's max effort. You're going to hear those grunts for sure.
I mean, it was just on board. We kind of talked. We just kind of let me know what the plan was. I mean, what they thought the plan was, and I said, okay. That's pretty much it.
As much work as you put in last off-season, does it feel good?
What you mean?
Just to have a more relaxed off-season, a little less intense.
I enjoyed both, to be honest. So I enjoy working, and I enjoy chilling. So whichever one, I was cool with either way.
So you did start your stuff later than the year before?
My defense, yeah. I mean, I started taking ground balls and stuff, and whatnot. But I mean, I've been working in the back. So obviously.
Has that kind of been? I know you kind of just mentioned you like working. I mean, we see you out there in the regular season like every day. Has that been kind of hard at all to kind of pump the brakes a little bit?
No, not at all. I mean, I put in so much work. At some point, you just gotta let it do its thing. I mean, there's only so many ground balls you can really take. I think I took enough of them last year.
You mentioned you used the word rewiring your body, I think, earlier.
Yep.
What is that? How do you do that? What does it entail?
I mean, just going back to the basics, man. I know it sounds real cliche or whatever, but yeah, just going back to the basics and building it back up. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I haven't done it in a while, so today was the first day, but like I said, we'll see how it goes.
Is that mostly the swing mechanics?
Yeah, definitely mostly hitting. I mean, I did a lot defensively, so. But yeah, mostly just hitting, rewiring, getting back to the basics.
You're a guy that talks about legacy. How dissatisfied were you with the individual numbers you put up last year?
I wasn't. I was upset until I was able to help the team. Once I was able to help the boys, all was fine. But before that, I was really upset. Not with the numbers per se, but not being able to help. Not doing my job, carrying my weight. And so once I was able to do stuff, especially later on in the season, I was able to just kind of take a step back and say you did pretty good.
Can you look at that? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Has it changed? I don't know. I think you just kind of get to a point where there's nothing really more you can do. I mean, what am I going to work harder? I mean, that doesn't, obviously wasn't working, you know what I'm saying? So I'd say work smarter, sure. I promise you I would have if I knew. So like I said, I was able to kind of rewire, and I feel like I did work smarter this offseason. And I feel like I'm in a really good spot.
When you're like going back to basics, like you said, is that the types of drills you're doing or work? Like what does that approach look like?
I mean, it's just really just going back to what I do best and really just honing in on it instead of trying to fix problems. I was more able to just hone in on what I do best and kind of groove those patterns instead of trying to fix old habits.
Can you look back at the beginning of last season, the virus, the transition to shortstop, and kind of give yourself more grace now and say that was a lot?
No. I'm sure it's a lot, but hell, everybody goes through a lot. Life is a lot, so that will never be an excuse.
Did you like enjoy that process of having to like kind of strip the swing down back to the basics and rebuild it up? Like how different is that than what you normally kind of do like during a winter when you're getting ready for a year?
Yeah, I actually did because I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how I operate. I was able to get in the right headspace, then sustain the right headspace. And then once I was able to kind of get in the right headspace and be able to stay there, I haven't been searching, I haven't been doing anything since I've been here outside of just working and preparing. And even today, I know I had an over 2, but I feel like I took 2 good swings. I was prepared, ready to go. So I can't ask for more than what I've been doing.
Have you ever had to do something like that before after a year?
No, never had that year. So that's but there's a first for everything. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. But the most important thing is I feel like I embraced it and I was able to attack it instead of trying to run from it.
Dave said the other day he expects a bounce back here offensively, and that you could be back at the MVP level that's been so much of your career. How do you feel about that?
That's what I expect.
Yeah.
I expect. I haven't felt this way in a long time. So the way I feel now, I mean, healthy, swing's in a really good spot, head's in a really good spot. I haven't had any bad days in the cage. Haven't had any bad days. BP, usually by now I would have taken 1,000 swings trying to fix stuff and trying to get game ready, and now I'm just cruising. I'm just cruising and I'm ready to go.
Thank you.